still the Lenten season, and we are looking at alternative ways to prepare meals that are not meat based. Okay, so at this time of the year, everybody goes to the sea to find their meals primarily, or they would go to the land and go in search of vegetables. So today I'm going to be preparing a curried shrimp dish for you, and I have already prepped my shrimp. As you can see, the shrimp is raw. Take a look at it. Notice that it's not pinky looking but more white. This is an indicator that it's not yet cooked. But these shrimp, if you look closely here, you will notice that they have been peeled and deveined. So this is exactly what we want. Fun fact about shrimp, it cooks very quickly. If it stays in the heat for too long, it's going to become rubbery. So definitely, working with shrimp, you want to make sure that you are working at a fast pace. Okay, now the other thing to note about this is that with seafood, you always want to add a little bit of lemon juice to cut down on any form of rawness that's there. Usually I wash my meat, double wash, citrus wash, and a vinegar wash. So I've washed the shrimp already with a little bit of vinegar, so it cuts away some of the rawness that will be there. And in the cooking process, I will add a little bit of lemon juice or lime juice. Now, key thing to note, if you do add the lemon juice before you hit the pot with the shrimp, guess what's gonna happen? This is very interesting. The shrimp is actually going to start the cooking process even without heat. In other words, it's going to start becoming tenderized. You could actually eat it by the time the lime or lemon juice is done with it. All right, so to make this curried shrimp, it's quick, it's simple, it's easy. I'm just going to be julienning some carrots, and this is the easy way to do it. Just probably split your carrot in 3, then make some little squares like these, and then I'm going to be cutting along here, so like this. You know, this is how you can ensure that it is actually thin and stick like, right? So I'm not going to bore you with putting you through the whole process of doing this, but I'm going to do it and show you. Of course, if you're cooking curried shrimp, you have to have a little bit of move this over, you have to have some garlic. So I'm going to be dicing these. You have to have a little piece of ginger. Well, you know I cook everything with ginger. And of course, we're going to have some onions. Okay, so we're gonna fix this up, prep it up also with some sweet pepper. I do have my seasoned basket here, and a little bit of what you might call this, scotchy. You can't have curried shrimp without scotchy. And of course I do have some what's this thing in the jiggy, scallions, that I'm going to be using in this process. All right guys, so I'm going to prep the ingredients now, and I will show you what it looks like shortly. This is what the carrot looks like once they are julienned. You know, this is like a medium-sized julienne. So we've just pretty much put it in what, sticks, like carrot sticks, right? Now remember, you know, the aim of the game here is that you can do this however you like. It's all going to be going down. Everybody is a master chef in their own right, so do whatever pleases you. It's your palate, it's your family that you're cooking for, your loved ones. So at the end of the day, what's most important is that things look appealing and they taste amazing. So these are the carrot sticks. So I'm just going to move on now to dice the garlic, and also grate the ginger. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to use a grater and just grate the ginger, and very soon I'm going to show you what that looks like. All right, so here we have 2 cloves of garlic that have been minced, right, finely chopped. So that's there. And again, you don't have to do it this way. If you wanted to just pop the whole garlic in there, and then once you're done, you remove it from the pan, that's fine by me as well. But I like to do this way, mince the garlic. Okay, that's the ginger. I just simply used a cheese grater, and you know, just a cheese grater to prepare this. This is what a cheese grater looks like, guys. Yeah, so I just grated this on the cheese grater so that I can get it fine. It's way easier than having to you know, dice the ginger, so to speak. Now, fun fact about ginger, guess what? Did you know that the easiest way to peel ginger is by using a spoon? Yes guys, just use a spoon and easily that skin will come off, and you're working with your ginger in no time. Next fun fact. So we have our onion here. All right, now look at this. Did you know, fun fact, that the reason the onion will burn your eye is for this simple thing here, the eye. If you cut that off before you start to peel the onion or slice the onion, then you're gonna run into trouble, because that's how it's gonna allow your eyes to water. All right, so like this. Yeah man, I would have been setting up myself for eyes to water. But let's go through this. I think I'm gonna cut it this way. What's this now? This is, what is this, horizontal, diagonal, so whichever way this is, I'm gonna cut these long way as opposed to making rings in the onions. Okay, so this is what our onions look like. So next up is gonna be our bell peppers, right? I don't have the 3 colors or the 4 colors, the rainbow colors going on, so I'm just gonna have to work with what's available in the marketplace, and that's green bell peppers. Now notice how I've cut it, right? So pretty much I would have gotten the whole bell pepper, and I would have just cut it down the center and then clean out that middle section. This is what that looks like. Then I'm just gonna cut it along like here, just like this. Make 3 cuts, right? And then I'm gonna have it this way. We do need a lot because we're not making a lot of shrimp. You might wonder, okay, why the knife holding situation and everything looks a little bit awkward. Unfortunately, I'm not using a tripod and I don't have anybody here to hold the camera for me, so I just have to become skillful, right, and do the do on my own. So this is what the bell pepper would look like, and we're going to be adding this to our shrimp. So right away, ladies and gentlemen, we have all the you know, all the flavors and the vegetables that we're going to be adding to the shrimp. Now, case in point, you see, it's not a lot of shrimp, so you want to beef this up because you know the shrimp is gonna actually shrink a little bit when it's cooked. And the worst thing is if somebody's preparing a shrimp meal for you and then you can actually count only 5 pieces. I'm not about that life. So the shrimp serving here is actually enough for 1 person. Please note, I said this is enough for 1 person. In case you want to do first and seconds, this is what is good for you. So overall, this is what the vegetable looks like, and I'm now going to move on to my next step. Okay, so I like to go in and season my shrimp a little bit first. I'm adding a little bit of this seasoning here, the island spice, seafood spice. It just has things like, it has some salt in there, sugar, pimento, onion, red pepper, thyme, ginger, and they say a little bit of citric acid. According to Island Spice, their things are MSG free, so that is why I trust this brand and I will use a little bit. Now, because it has salt in there, I'm not going in with a lot. All right, so that to me should be enough. I'm also going to be hitting this with just a little bit of paprika, according to some persons. And I'm also going to be putting a tad bit of white pepper, not black pepper this time, but white pepper to the mix. Notice I'm not adding any salt at this stage. I will do that at the end. So it's curried shrimp, and I know persons are probably saying, okay, so what you going to do now? Is she gonna put the curry powder on the shrimp? You can if you want, or is she just gonna do the curry in the pot? You can choose whichever one you want. Some persons believe that your curry has got to be burned. It doesn't have to be burned. Just to make sure that they're all coated. Lightly seasoned, right? Because remember, now our natural seasoning is what is going to carry this off, and of course the curry powder. Boom bang. So that's good to go. So I have my saucepan here and it's heating up 2 tablespoons of olive oil. Okay, just that amount. Why? We don't want this to be a greasy dish for sure. Olive oil is not something that you fry with either. It's really good for sauteing and it gives your meal a very nice flavor. So with that being said, I'm gonna go ahead now, just test. All right, that seems hot enough, and I'm going to be adding our ingredients to the pot. So I'm gonna start off first and foremost with my veggies. So I'm putting the onions, and I'm just gonna put it to one side of the pot and allow it to saute. I am using a very low flame, lowest flame possible on your stove. That's where I'm at, and I'm going to saute these veggies. Already I can smell the scent of the onions rising in my kitchen, and that's a good look, right? So we want these to get pretty translucent. So let's just keep this going, move this around until it becomes translucent. What do I mean by translucent? It's almost as it becomes pale, okay? You can see through it. That's the idea. So when you're cooking too, you want to build upon your flavor, right? You don't just want to hit everything in the pot all at once, because you want for there to be layers of flavor. And that is why you don't do it this way, you know. You start with one thing, you move to another thing. This smells so good with the olive oil. YouTube, you know, work with me. I say you need a smell icon. Alright. So as you can see, these are sweating. Alright. Since they are there, I'm now going to hit the pot with the ginger. You can put in the ginger and the garlic all at once. Now the thing with garlic is that you have to move quickly, because garlic will burn. Alright, so once you're using garlic, you don't want for it to just sit down there in your pot. You want to be moving that around, like I'm doing here. Smells so good. This grated ginger and this garlic and onion. Lord. It becomes infused in the oil, by the way. Alright, so next up, going in now with the scotchy. Loads of flavor. Come through scotchy. Ooh! Smelling that for sure. Alright, so notice what I'm doing now. Putting that to one side, and I'm about to hit the pot with my curry powder. Put it in the pot, don't play with me. Just about this amount of curry. Smell that. It's heating up. Just sweeten it a little bit for the oil to come back in it, because I don't want to add any more oil to the pot. And I'm just going to be moving this around, just like you see me doing here. Putting these in it. Smells so good. Moving this around. Look at how the vegetables are taking up this curry powder. I'm also going to be adding now my carrot sticks. Yeah. Wanting for it to take up that curry goodness as well. All my carrot sticks are going in. And I'm moving this around as well. So everybody has a different technique to cooking their curried shrimp, but this is mine. Alright, so now we're going to start going in with a little bit of our water. I'm adding cornstarch liquid to this. Why? I want it to thicken up the sauce. Right, so I'm just going to add a little bit more water to this, because of course the cornstarch would allow this sauce to thicken, but I want the carrots to be cooked. So I'm just going to allow this to sit here, do its thing for a few. At this point, I'm going to turn the flame up so that this process can go just a tad bit quicker. This is doing its thing here. I'm going to be adding some pimento. You can crush these if you'd like. Again, this is about layers of flavor, right? So I'm adding some pimento berries here, and I'm also adding some fresh herb. Well, this one is dried actually. It could have been fresh, whether you wanted to use thyme, or in this case I'm using marjoram, which is from the same family, that mint family. So I'm using that, and I'm allowing this now to come to a nice little boil at all times, just stirring it. Notice that the sauce is going to thicken up. Now while that is happening, I'm going to be hitting my shrimp that I have sitting here with just a tad bit of lime juice. Again, the idea is that we want to get rid of any kind of rawness. Change my mind. So instead of the lemon juice, I decided to use lemon zest. So what I did was just simply to grate, using the cheese grater again, I just grated a piece of the skin from the lemon onto the fish. So that's just gonna give it a nice flavor. Alright, this is what our sauce looks like, which means that it's time for us to add our shrimp. Boom, quick and easy. Like I said, so shrimp cooks very quickly. So what's the order of the day now? You're going to know that these shrimp are ready once you look at it and it becomes pink. Do not allow it to sit here and overcook, or else it's going to be rubbery. That's not what we want, right? We want a lot of flavor. We want for it to eat good, as they would say in Jamaican terms, right? The food they eat goodie, that's what we want. So if you look already, you can see that the shrimp has started to cook, you know, because beyond the yellow from the curry, notice what you see. It's becoming pink, right? That's what you want. The moment the entire shrimp is pink, then you know that it is cooked. So you need not waste any time right there. All right, guys. So maybe another 3 to 5 minutes the most. This will be ready. Notice, all right, still bubbling, still doing its thing. Now I know that there are some persons who are going to be saying, hold on there, how come the curry look a little bit more orangish as opposed to being very yellow? What's going on here? The truth is, the curry brand that I've used is a mixture of dark duck curry, which is famous in Trinidad, and I've also added a little bit of better pack curry. That's what I use to create my curry mix at home. In addition to that, you'd remember that I did hit the shrimp with a little bit of paprika, so that's what gives it this color as opposed to just a very bright yellow looking curry. In addition to that, the carrots, you see, adds color to your dishes, so the carrot is at work here as well. All right, almost done. I'm just going in with a little bit of scallions. In foreign lands, people call these spring onions. Scallion. I'm Jamaican. All right, again, when the heat hits this, it's gonna burst with flavor. If you look at it, here we have it. Shrimp is perfectly cooked. So we're just having this go down probably for another 2 to 3 minutes, just again for the sauce to thicken up. Out of the pot here, you will see that it is thickening. All right, so once it thickens a little bit more, we're gonna be good to go. So while waiting for that to happen as well, boom, what are we gonna do? Remember those sweet peppers, those bell peppers? We're just gonna put that in there. And again, this is another layer of flavor. So our curry shrimp is gonna be really tasty, really awesome, spicy. That's how I like it, spicy and rich curry gravy. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so what will we serve this up with? Probably some white rice, maybe jasmine rice or basmati rice, any of the two. That will be my preference, you know. Or it could be served with some quinoa as well. So let's see. Not so sure what I'll serve it with, but I have a strong feeling it might be white rice because I got a weakness for curry and hot white rice. All right, wait for the plating. Got that, man? From YouTube. What is smell icon there? Yep. Goodness. Wisdom. Do I hear you all over this saying goodness? Hey guys, that's that. There you have it, guys. My curried shrimp. Thank you for making it vibing with Via. Bon appetit. Remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And of course, I'll see you in the next video.
Yeah, we vibing with Via.